What's up everybody, it's your boy Musasha, and welcome to part 2 of how to become a Black Knight. Let's see what lies behind door number 1. I'm just gonna pick up all the key items in the area and show you guys the most important things to do in this section called the Firelink Shrine. Now, this is the first aggressive NPC that we encounter, and defeating him drops this katana, which is a amazing little weeb weapon if you are into dex, if you're a dexterity user, or if you simply love katanas like me. Additionally, he drops his extremely light rags that he's wearing. Now the way I'm fighting him is I'm baiting out his special ability, which is the charge slash, and instead of actually luring him off the cliff, which is a cheesy way to do it, that cliff on the left hand side. Now you see here I bait out the attack and just follow through with a bunch of light attacks. Something I didn't mention was every weapon has light attacks, which are just pressed by, done by pressing R1, or by holding down R2 you do your heavy attacks. Those heavy attacks do more damage and can be charged. This is the first friendly NPC and he gives us this collapse gesture.
Don't you?
Okay, welcome to Firelink Shrine. And our little helper girl over here. Now this is the keeper of the fire, Firelink Maiden. And basically you exchange your souls here to level up. Each level allows you to level up one particular stat. So in this case I'm leveling up dexterity, because every Black Knight weapon needs at least 18 dexterity. And it allows us, basically gives us viability to use any weapon we want early on in the game. This is the Grandma Handmaiden, she just sells a bunch of key items, and I'm not going to show me constantly going back and forth, resupplying consumables and buying new pieces of armor. The white soapstone that you saw me buy was just used to help other players. By putting the sign down, we can join their game and help them beat the boss in their game, collecting extra souls. All these additional items I'm buying, I'm going to show you what they're used for, especially that large leather shield. For those of you that play Dark Souls 1, this is Andre of Astora. He is the smith, which allows us to upgrade our weapons, make them do a little bit more attack, as well as change our potions from health to mana and vice versa. And he does infusions, which I'll cover later. Remember those items we just picked up from the Grandma Merchant? Well, this section up here is where we're going to exchange them for some really useful materials, especially one called Twinkling Titanite, which is used to upgrade our future Black Knight weapons. Now the way to reach it is to run up this tree, do a jump while sprinting. It's kind of tricky and glitchy to get up here, but just try it and you'll definitely get across. Up across this arc you'll see a bunch of feathers and light coming out. This is the merchant, so this invisible spot is some type of bird that we drop our items and it gives us a better item in exchange, and there's that Twinkling Titanite I mentioned before. And this is a cool little gesture we get. Call over is one of the few gestures that actually makes a sound. Giving the merchant a chime drops a special Help Me carving, which is another item that makes a sound by throwing it on the ground and can be used infinitely. Now Estus shards upgrade our drinks to 1 extra capacity, so instead of having 2 at this moment we would have had 3. And that secret little doorway gives us a covetous silver serpent ring, which just gives us 10% extra souls dropped from anything we killed, including bosses. It doesn't matter that I take fall damage here, this is just the Firelink Shrine, so cool. Let's proceed to the next area, this High Wall of Lothric. This is the first area where online play is possible, and you can be invaded or summon other players to help. Approaching this bonfire, we see 2 white soapstones on the ground. This is other players offering their services to help us in our game, as long as we're in an online embered state. This is the first tougher enemy of this zone, called the Pus of Man, and they drop extra embers which allow us to go back into online mode and have extra HP. They hit like a truck, so be extremely careful when fighting these. They're weak to fire, so having these fire bombs is perfect for stunning them enough to get a few hits in. There we go, they drop some Titanite shards, allowing us to upgrade our weapons. But before we continue, let's summon Donald Spiffy over here, just a random player offering his services to help us in the game. Hey Spiffy. He's naked, which means he must be freaking amazing at this game, because he doesn't need any armor. Let's see how well he does. Up ahead there's a shortcut. We just have to drop off this cliff, make sure we stick to the right side, otherwise we'll fall to our death. No, Spiffy! He didn't know the shortcut. Here's an example of that charge attack I've done with just by holding the R2 button down. Every heavy attack also has a follow-up attack, which is really useful in PvP because it catches people off guard. Some extra cells. Backstab failed. Now running and pressing heavy attack does a jumping attack, which is pretty cool, and it's unparryable. It's very useful for those parry kings that try to parry everything we do. Quickly run through this area and unlock a shortcut before Dragon Boy wrecks us buttholes. Okay, shortcut is unlocked. Let's try to do a plunging attack on this guy. Wham! Pick up this treasure. Not. This is a mimic. This is a monster that pretends to be a treasure chest, and for those of you who don't know, if you try to open them, they instantly eat you, killing you on the spot. Nice little touch that Dark Souls has like that, so yeah. Let's kill the bastard. Get that tongue out of there, boy. Deep Battle Axe is just a battle axe that has a bit of darkness element added to its attack, useful for enemies that are weak against dark. New enemy here, this is the Lothric Knight, which has repetitive combos that can be parried just like that. Now, he did whoop my ass a little bit before, and just shows how careful you have to be when you try to parry. You have to get the timing down. Let's try parry this bastard again. We can lure out his attack, and he always does this second hit. Boom. Later, Bolt. One look at the dragon, and let's continue. There's a sneaky poke boy over here, so let's take this bastard out. Not today, my friend. Some extra firebombs, pretty useful. Now up ahead to the right here is our second bonfire, so we can warp back and forth, don't have to cover the whole area again. I'm not going to summon anyone at this point. I'm just going to run through the area, pick up some extra shards to upgrade weapons, and just explore some more. Some extra souls hidden around the corner. Skipped a little bit, don't need to show every little enemy we fight. One of these bastards again, let's get a few hits in. He has this really crazy snake-like attack which hits a lot of area, and I can't believe I dodged it here, because I usually get hit by that. A good monster to fight to stock up on embers when you want to play with friends. Now, remember that giant lizard? This is what they used to look like before they consumed the souls and became huge monstrosities. Now, black firebombs are slightly stronger than the regular firebombs, but a bit more rare to come by at this stage of the game. This sneaky boy hides an undead hunter charm, which is an item used to prevent healing, especially when players are trying to chug their Estus flasks. A different variety of Lothric Knight here. He has this giant great shield which he likes to tap us with, and that huge annoying spear which has great range. One good way to beat them is to two-hand your weapon and just keep hitting them when they're blocking like that. If I can stop getting hit here like a noob. There we go, we broke his guard and we can power him for an easier finish. The window of opportunity while they're blocking is very small. They like to mix up their attacks, make it a little bit harder for us, but it's not too bad. Let's take a little stroll through this area and screw you, buddy. Try to backstab us, huh? Dark Souls has a lot of hidden bastards and traps everywhere, so I've been hit by that guy too many times. The reason I'm going this way is because this bastard is sitting down throwing fire bombs, and if you see those barrels down below, they detonate. We're going to use that against the other monsters because we killed the sneaky boy up here. Now I'm just using manual camera aim to throw these fire bombs. That's something that the game doesn't explain, but it's extremely useful. As you can see, it takes a bit of practice, but it isn't too hard. Just imagine an imaginary crosshairs in the middle of the screen. He really hates that part of the ground. Now that great axe he wields is extremely useful if you're doing a strength build, but the drop rate is abysmally low, so if you happen to get one, congratulations, you are lucky. RNGesus is with you. Now walking is pretty cool in this game. You can stealth and sneak up on enemies that are facing the wrong way. Down the ladder and we have a new enemy over here, Mr. Fat Boy with a giant spear. This guy is very annoying and does a whirlwind tornado attack, which you'll see shortly, and it's really hard to dodge. I'm not sure if it's parryable, but I haven't tried. He is easy to backstab though, and if you have a shield like me, you can just block his attack and sneak up behind his, stab him in the bum. There's that tornado attack. God, I hate it. Oh look, he's spamming it. Lovely. Of course it has the range to cover the whole damn room. Not that time. Really, buddy? Damn, the range on that thing. Batty Boy had the last laugh with his Holy Light Pillar attack. We can actually get that attack later in the game, but it requires a lot of faith. It's a stat that we need to upgrade, but I'm not going to do this in this build. We're primarily a strength and dexterity user, so we can wield all these cool weapons. Okay, so I went back to the bonfire, upgraded our katana, which we're going to use to fight the boss, before we proceed further into the game and get our Black Knight gear. Now I've reinforced our Estus to have 6 drinks, and let's level up a little bit more, get a little bit more HP, to be a bit more resilient.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Now most people would do Vort, which is the regular boss for this area, but there is a little trick if you talk to Grandma over here.
Ah, I am alarmed. You will. They have left.
Yes, Grandma, give me your key items.
This it is. If you feel.
Now we're gonna kill her. That's right. We're gonna kill her. You might think I'm crazy, but this is actually what you need to do in it if you want to proceed into the late game zone and collect the Black Knight stuff. It seems cruel, I know, but trust me, she would die anyway, and this is probably good for her. She doesn't have to suffer this existence. Now, we try to put this thing on the pedestal, and welcome to the Beyblades fight. Now, this Dancer boss is a late game boss that you would normally fight when you're level 80, maybe 70 to 80, up to 100 maybe, after you've beaten all the core bosses in the game. She hits like a truck, and probably one-shot me with most of her attacks. the key to this fight is sticking close to her bum. Also, she's weak to bleed, that's why I'm constantly spamming these attacks with the katana to slowly build up her bleed meter. And you're gonna see eventually she will bleed out and it'll do a bit extra damage in health bar. That was close. And that was the bleed, if you guys saw it. Kind of like a blood splatter. It's crucial here that I keep a little bit of stamina at any given point in time. I can't be greedy, otherwise I'll get absolutely wrecked. Now I've consumed that stamina thing just to have more faster stamina regen, because we're going to need it for this stage of the fight where she goes tornado berserk. I like to spam fire bombs when she does that AoE attack. She's a psycho, oh my god. We blade her bomb a little bit. Some of you might be thinking of the implications there, but I'm just gonna stay quiet. Now this combo she does is really easy to dodge. It's always the same 3 attacks. But this tap attack is savage. I always get killed by that. You have to be careful because it comes up very quickly. And now she's spamming it, of course. If you value your life, go left here. How that got me, I'll never know. Almost dead, come on! Oh my god. I love that attack, it's nice and slow and lets me get at least 1 or 2 hits in. Oh yes. Yeah, you hit that ground. What I love about Dark Souls is every attack you can see coming, no matter how delayed. It's very fluid. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've beaten the Dancer and unlocked the next step to getting later into the game early, if that makes sense, at level 18 with a +2 katana. Look at those souls pour in.